Hey guys, welcome. In this video we're going to learn how to use switch blocks. These mechanisms allow us to check a condition very quickly, okay? And then return a result based on which condition matches. So, crank up Visual Studio, make a templated project as we've done before, as I've shown you. Alright, I'll paste some code down below. And this code is somewhat elaborate, but we'll get to it quickly enough. So step number 1. Prompt to the user console.writeLine like that, and then how many apples would you like? So this is what the user will seize. Okay, then you can say integer and then how many, and remember this is camel casing here with the little h and the big M. Then you're gonna say integer.parse, so we'll read in the value from the user console.writeLine, for example. Here we are, read line, goes over the semicolon, so it looks like this. Alright, so prompt the user, get a value from the user, simple enough logic, nothing that, complicated. At the next stage, we're going to type decimal, and then it will say here cost per apple, and we'll set that equal to 0. Like this, okay? There you go, why not? And we'll say here decimal, and then we'll say total cost equals, actually this would be what's known as a computed variable, like this, okay? So this variable here, its value will be the result of a calculation, okay? Computed variable, meaning its value is the result of a calculation, like this, okay? There you go. Alright. Whereas the cost per apple, as you can see, is defined already to be 0.5. Okay. Now, next we are going to code the switch block. It takes the following logical form. We'll say switch, and then a variable to switch on. So in our case, it will be how many, like this. Then open, close the curly braces. So depending on the number of apples entered, different sections of the switch block will run. Okay? That's what we mean by switching on a variable like this. Alright, let me delete that. So let's take a look at case number 1. So we have case 1, and then we'll say here the following. We'll compute the total cost. So total cost equals, then you'll say here cost per apple multiplied by how many, like this. Okay? Then you'll write here console.writeLine, and then you'll say the cost of your apples is, and then you'll say a placeholder like this, and then a comma, and then total cost like that. There you go. Okay, there you go. Okay, so if you want one apple, it will compute the total cost and display the total cost for you. There you go. Okay, and in the other case, what you want to do also is include a break like this. So the break will prevent further processing of the block, like that. Alright, let's go to case number 2. Imagine, you want 2 of them. Well, the logic is the same, which means we can just Control C and then Control V this code down below, like that. Okay. Let's do one more, say case 3. So 3 apples, meaning Control V the same code down below. Nothing to change. You notice each of them has a break. And one more that is common here in this context is, let me delete this, I don't need this anymore. Let's go to the default here and type default, and then console.writeLine, and then you'll say here you should have an apple today. So this message will be printed if no case above is matched, and break with a semicolon. There you go. Alright, so let's delete this stuff here. So it looks like that. So this is a simple switch block that operates on some input from the user. Alright, so to understand this, let's give it a build first, make sure it takes. Okay, let's go with debug and step into. And again, I do everything very deliberately and carefully and very thoroughly. I have discovered that it's much better to invest 5 more minutes the first time than try to, keep going back to it, because that actually ends up wasting much more time. So first, display a prompt, wait for input. How many apples would you like? So say 3, hit enter. Notice that 3 has been stored in how many, right? Then the cost per apple here is assigned the value 0.5, and notice how many now has the value 3. So look very carefully about what happened within the body of the switch block. That means we are about to step into it. And again, here, if you hover your mouse over different things, it will provide different kinds of information. See, total cost is 0, total cost is 0, total cost is 0. So this tells us the total cost has not yet been computed, and the default value of that variable is 0. Like this, okay? But remember, because it's of type decimal, if you click that, it's really 0m, even if it doesn't show it, this way. All right, so go into it. Notice that it skips past case 1, case 2, goes to case 3. Okay, right now the yellow is about to be executed. The total cost is about to be assigned a value, so look very carefully. It's been assigned the value 1.5. That will be shown, then the break is hit, and you pop out of it, as I've done here, you see? So the output is very simple. How many apples would you like? 3. The cost of the apples is 150. There you go. And that's it. This is how we can use a switch block to accept input, process the input, and produce some kind of useful output. The basic, logical purpose of most programs, I think. And that is it. So thanks very much, guys, and I will see you in another video.